Okay, page 7 of unit conversions. Sjors, how do you say that? Sjors is traveling to Europe. He withdraws 8,000 Swedish kroner from his savings and converts it to euros. The local bank buys SEK at 1 SEK equals 0.111 euros. That is a domino, right? And sells SEK at 1 SEK equals 0.121 euros. Okay, so those are both dominoes for the same currency exchange. It's just that the bank gives a different exchange rate when you buy it or when you sell it because it always wants to make money. If it gave the same exchange rate in both, then probably the bank's not making any money off your exchange. Use the appropriate rate to calculate the amount of euros Sjors will receive. Okay. So Sjors is giving 8,000 SEK to the bank. Okay, and then the bank is giving euros. Okay. So in this case, is the bank, let's see, is the bank buying SEK or is it selling SEK? And looks like it is buying SEK because the SEK is going towards the bank. So that means it would be this one here, 0.111. So we're going to use that exchange rate, okay? So we're going to start with 8,000 SEK. And we're going to multiply that times the domino, which is going to be 1 SEK on the denominator, and it's going to be 0.111 euros in the numerator. And then let's turn on the calculator. And what we want to do is we want to multiply 8,000 times 0.111 enter, and it gives me 888 euros. That was A. B, the trip is canceled. How much will Sjors receive if the euros in part A are changed back to SEK? So we're going to take 888 euros, and we are going to multiply it times the other domino, because in this case, Sjors is going to give euros to the bank, and the bank is going to give SEK to Sjors. So is the bank buying or selling SEK? It is selling SEK. So if it's selling SEK, then it would be 0.121 euros. And SEK is going to be 1. So I'm going to do 888. And I'm going to divide by 0.121. And I get 7,338.84. So that was part B, and so that's euros. Oh, I'm sorry. Change back to SEK. Okay, and so actually this is SEK, right? SEK. Okay, and then it says how much did he lose after the two transactions. Remember that he started out with 800, he ended up with 7,338. So I could do 8,000 minus 7,338, and I get 661.16. So the difference the difference is going to be 8,000 minus 7338.84, which is equal to 661.16 sec. Okay, let's go to the next one. Number 5. 1 Brazilian real equals 3.984 South African rand. So let's highlight this. Give answers correct to 2 decimal places. Convert 500 Brazilian reais to South African rand. Okay, so I'm going to start with 500 Brazilian reais, and I'm going to use the domino here to convert it. 1 Brazilian real is equal to 3.984 South African rand. And there is no buy and sell, so it's quite easy, right? So do 500 times 3.984. And I got 1992. That's the number of ZAR, right? Okay, so that's A. B, find how many Brazilian real it costs to purchase 500 ZAR. Okay, so we have X Brazilian real, and we're going to convert it using this exchange rate, same one. And on the bottom we have BRL. And that equals 500 ZAR. Okay, so basically X times 3.984, so I'm going to write 3.984X is equal to 500. Okay, and so basically if I do X equals 500 divided by 3.984, that's going to be my answer. $125.50. 125.50. That's how many Brazilian real he needs to purchase 500 ZAR. You could also have started out with 500 ZAR and then multiplied it times the exchange rate, which would be 3.984 ZAR and 1 Brazilian real. And that would give you the same answer, right? Okay. Since this one didn't have buy-sell, you don't really need to think. You could do it in either direction. But if it did have buy-sell, be careful because we're not changing. We're actually changing the Brazilian real to ZAR, right? Last question. James, who lives in the UK, travels to Belgium. The exchange rate is, and I'm going to highlight this because it's a domino, with a commission of 4 GP, which is subtracted before the exchange takes place. James gives the bank 250 GBP. Calculate correct 2 decimal places the number of euros he receives. Okay. So they said that first thing he does is he gives 250 GBP. He's going to pay a commission of 4 before the exchange takes place. So he starts out with 250 and he subtracts out 4 and he gets 246 GBP to start with. And then he exchanges that for euros. So we're going to change 246 GBP to euros. And the exchange rate is GBP on bottom so that it cancels, and euros on top. The euros is 1.173, and the GBP is 1 GBP. So I'm just going to rewrite this because I wrote kind of messy here. 1.173. So the amount of euros is going to be 246. Oops. 246 times 1.173. 288.56. 288.56, and this is euros. So that is the number of euros he received. He buys 1 kilogram of Belgian chocolate at 2.25 euros per 100 gram. Calculate the cost of his chocolates in GBP, correct at 2 decimal places. Okay, so he's going to buy 1 kilogram of chocolate, and the rate is 2.25 euros per 1,000 grams, so, or 100 grams. So that's the domino, right? So first what we're going to do is we're going to start with 1 kilogram. And then we want to change kilograms into grams because our domino has grams in it, right? So before we get to the domino with grams in it, let's change kilograms to grams. And we remember there's 1,000 grams in a kilogram because a gram is small, right? And then we're going to change the grams, 100 grams, into how much they cost, which is 2.25 euros. Okay, so now I'm going to multiply all this out. So I got 1,000 times 2.25 divided by 100. That should give me 22.5. I'm just going to make sure here. I do 1,000. Oh, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do the math thing. Go to math, number, and we do n divided by d. And on the top, we're going to put 1,000 times. This is just to make sure you can do a hard problem, even though this is an easy one. Make sure we can do it with the calculator. 1,000 times 2.25 divided by 100 gives me 22.5. Yeah, and remember the kilograms cancel. The grams cancel, and what's left is euros. So 22.5 euros is the answer for B. Oh, and we want 2 decimal places, so we could put 22.50, right?